across the right wing side, down to Widmar, backhanded shot save, rebound chance, they score! CJ Valerian hammers home the rebound. It is 3-2 Dawgs here at 10:02 in the second. Widmar's backhanded shot stuffed. Valerian jumping up into the rush, coming right down Main Street in between the hash marks. Olsen cannot skate beyond CJ Valerian, and Valerian is just absolutely grown man shoves him down to the ice. And now Doney is out. Roanoke on the attack from right to left. O'Day, right wing side, goes right up on top of Birkin. Shot was saved, rebound chance, they score! CJ Valerian roofs it from the high slot, and Roanoke makes it a 1-0 game just after an early penalty kill at 7:22. Around the boards, and it's greeted by Stanko, right wing side, center perfectly for Valerian. He scores! Roanoke has tied this game at 10:51. It's a great play by Valerian to dump it back in. Stanko finds the Roanoke defenseman, and he pots it on the blocker side of Mundinger.
One-timer to perfection for the Dawgs right there.
We're going to get a fight in the near side corner. Valerian's got Francois tied up. He's going to rip him right down to the ice in front of the Roanoke net. Not quite sure what started all of that. 19:39 to go in this second, and the extracurriculars continue.
We're here with Rail Yard Dawgs defenseman number 27, CJ Valerian. CJ, just finished up your 4th year here with the Dawgs. You guys were able to set a new franchise record with 34 regular seasons this year. That included that monster 10-game winning streak that you all enjoyed. And you guys finish up in the top 3 for the 2nd straight year. I know it can sometimes be a little difficult when the end of the season is so fresh and you guys fall short of that ultimate goal and getting back to a championship. But what was this season like at large from your perspective?
You know, being so soon after playoffs, it's hard to look back on the win streaks and stuff and be happy about it with the way the season turned out. But season overall, I think we tried building on what we had last year. When we came up short last year, I think we had a lot of key pieces to, you know, keep the run going, and played a lot of good hockey throughout the year. And our goal throughout the whole year was to get ready for playoffs and be playing the right way. And I think it showed in the 10-game win streak and a lot of other exciting games. So the result of the season, the regular season, was us getting ready for playoffs and trying to play the right way.
You faced a lot of injury adversity throughout last season, but this year you bounced back and you have a really awesome campaign, both here in Roanoke and in some well-deserved stints up above in the ECHL. Take us through kind of what was going through your mind throughout this season, whether it was with the Dawgs or elsewhere, as you were able to be back out on the ice, you were able to stay back out on the ice and remind everyone who CJ Valerian is out there.
Yeah, I mean, last year at the end of the season, I was able to get a couple games in, I think probably 3 or 4 before playoffs, and then played playoffs, and I was still pretty fresh off of surgery. So I knew what I could do, and I put the work in over the summer. I always had that to fall back on. I put the work in. So coming into the year, I was feeling confident in the season that I would have personally. And then just being able to build off of teammates, everyone having confidence in me, helped build my confidence throughout the year, and moving up and down, moving into different roles and different situations in the locker rooms. Just at the end of the day, if you show love to the game will show love back to you. And that's what I tried to do, just give it my all every single day, and it went fairly well for me this season.
Down the stretch, you played a lot with Johnny McDonald as a partner along the blue line, 2 guys that are very physical out there, leave it all out on the ice. What has it been like to get to play alongside of J-Mac both this season and then maybe in years past here in Roanoke? And why do you feel like you guys were able to mesh so well together when you were paired up together?
I love J-Mac. Like, we went through a lot this season, starting in Reading. We lived together in a hotel through training camp and coming here. So there's a lot of chemistry just from the start. When J-Mac first came to the Dawgs, we were living together. We've been through a lot together, and it kind of translates on the ice. And just in terms of our styles, we love protecting the house. We love protecting the house. And when you have someone really like-minded, when it comes to something like our styles of play, I think the chemistry is just, it's there. And I think we can be really effective as a duo.
You've now been here for 4 years with Roanoke, like we mentioned to start the video off, and I think naturally your role begins to evolve and change as a leader within the room where you take on greater responsibility. How do you kind of approach that role within yourself on the team, and what do you kind of see as your job maybe beyond the X's and O's department within the room?
I think my compete level and intensity, it's just something that you can control every day, your effort and attitude. And I always try bringing my best effort and showing every new guy the effort that's required to be not just a professional, but to be a dog. Bringing that effort and compete, and always having a good attitude. That's how I try leading personally, is just kind of showing the consistency, the day in, day out of, how to do things the right way. And aside from that, try being vocal in the locker room, but we have a lot of great vocal leaders on the team. So, it's kind of everyone pitches in their own way, and that's kind of how the leadership dynamic works for me.
You helped the Dawgs get to that first President's Cup back in 2023, but now the last two postseasons, you guys have seen the other side of it, where you fall short of maybe what you thought your potential was, or where you thought you guys should have ended up if you were able to get there. How did the leaders in the room, the other returners next fall, how did they take this experience from this past spring and the way the playoffs went and take it into next year to make sure that they can try to push back over the hump?
I think that's something that we're going to have to figure out. It's all really raw, really fresh. But, from the first night, we're already talking about what's the plan? Where do we go from here? And that's what we're trying to figure out. And I'm confident in every single one of my teammates, the leadership, coaching staff. I know that we have what it takes, and just tweak some things and move into next year on a fresh start.
So what comes next for you this summer, Val? Once the dust settles and you get everything packed up, what does this summer look like for CJ?
Start training, make sure not another first round exit. Just do everything I can to make sure that, come back next year better than ever.
And if there's anything I left out, or one last thing that you'd like to kind of leave it at for anyone that might be watching it today, what would that be?
Probably just thank you to the fans. They were so supportive throughout the whole year, and there's just no place like Roanoke, and we want to bring that President's Cup back to them, and we just appreciate all the support.
CJ, you're the man. Always appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and best of luck.
Appreciate it, Mitch.